Hi everyone, welcome. Thank you for joining me. Thank you, chat managers, for your help. I appreciate it. If anyone would like a reading from me, I'm shutting off the background noise making. Oops, I missed that one. Okay. Yes. If anyone would like a reading from me, sorry about that. My information is below the video, psychicmedia.com, or please feel free to call me or text me on my YouTube number. Having said that, I think I better start with this. I gave you guys an example of what happened to a young man in Haiti, and to show you how ignorance is really unbelievable. You would think people would hear of what happened to that young man and they would not try to play the same game. There is another victim on the wing. I saw a video of him saying that the guy that died, he didn't have enough confidence in the spirits that were supposed to be protecting him. That's why he was not bulletproof. I will let you guys know what happens to him. He's supposedly one of the leaders of some kind of gang in Haiti. I don't know the name of all the gangs for some area, but I will let you know at the right time, because death was written all over his face. So I wanted to mention that. I will keep you guys posted with those events that are going on in Haiti. Nothing, I feel it's connected to what can potentially happen here. Okay, I mean, most Americans don't believe in that stuff. Well, I'm going to have some kind of spell or something done for me. I'm going to be bulletproof. Not really, but in other ways, and I will explain. Okay, like the first topic on my title says, conscientious objectors. I am sure you guys have heard there are 2 staff sergeants, and I'm not sure if it's the Illinois. I believe it's the Illinois National Guards who basically declared they are going to stay true to their oath to the Constitution. They're not going to basically. They didn't sign on to the National Guard or to the military to turn on their fellow Americans. And intuitively, I feel this is only the beginning. Okay? Those 2, I mean, my hat's off to them. It takes it out. You got to be very brave to do what they are doing. But most people, most National Guard soldiers, feel the same way. In fact, some of them have to go to therapy because they don't understand why they are doing what they are doing. I mean, being put in those positions to turn on their on their fellow Americans. And also, I heard a soldier. I didn't hear a soldier. I'm sorry. The lady who was at the Tom Hartman show. Okay, he was playing the video, and she said active duty soldiers, but they were not in uniform, came up to her and spoke to her about, because she had a shirt that there is an act, if I explain it, you guys will know, that Pasi Quetaris, yes, she had it written on her shirt, and the soldiers saw that. They came up to her and let her know that they appreciate, her taking part in the protest, and also to know that active duty soldiers will stay true to their oath to the Constitution. The reason why I'm saying this, aside those examples, is to show you what I've been saying intuitively, I've been feeling, and my prediction, our active soldiers and soldiers in the National Guards are not going to turn on us. It's number one. Number two, intuitively I feel it's Stephen Miller that's involved in these people that are pushing. I mean, Trump agrees, don't get me wrong, but I'll talk about, why he's doing certain things when we get to his health status. They are not going to back down because those guys, they've never done anything else in their lives but to work in government. So they think, and also that's Vance's belief as well. I've heard him say it or read it somewhere that he says, I think I read it somewhere where he said they have all the guns, so they don't care about what anyone else says. And those guys feel the same way as well. Therefore, they are not going to back down. And I am sure you guys heard this morning, they have reassigned, or most ICE leadership are gone because Stephen Miller, that we spoke about that a while back, that he wanted a certain number of arrests daily. Otherwise, people are going to lose their jobs. Intuitively, I feel it's a disaster waiting to happen. These people, obviously, they are doing their best. The agents who are in the streets, among others, who are trying to arrest people, they are trying so hard, they are abusing their powers, and they're going to suffer the legal ramifications at some point down the line. They've put everything on the line, but it still wasn't good enough for Miller and others in the administration. They removed him. That conscientious objection that a lot of people, like I said, this is only the tip of the iceberg. There are going to be more. And I'm sure you guys have heard the attrition. I mean, people are leaving ICE, among other agencies in the government, in droves because they can't take the pressure, or they don't like the job they're doing, or the way people, they are not appreciated. Who doesn't like to be or want to be appreciated for the job that you do? In any event, ICE losing people, soldiers in the National Guard have decided that they want to declare conscientious objections. A lot of soldiers in the military. Do you guys remember I said a while back, if Trump, since he's the president, we're going to call it the Trump administration instead of the Stephen Miller and Vought administration. They're going to continue to push this, and they're going to break the military, the National Guard. And this morning we have a little gym here. Instead of going to a regular gym, that I go to that little gym here in order for me to, while I was there, because I don't want to catch COVID. That's why I stay here and I wait when there's no one in there. As I was doing my workout, what came to mind was maybe 2 years before I immigrated here. My father got me. Yeah, because my father was in this country when that happened. So it's probably about 2 years or somewhere around there, okay? You know what happened? Papa Doc pushed his luck to the point where the Coast Guard in Haiti is a little different from, I don't know enough about the Coast Guard here, but it's like something similar to the Coast Guards here. But those guys had warships, which large caliber machine guns on them, and I don't know how far those cannons can shoot, a projectile. Okay, but Papa Doc wanted about 10 or 12 people, and the equivalent of the Coast Guard, they call it guard coat, coastal guards, if you wanted to translate it, but they call it guard court. That's where my father used to be, okay? And the chief, the commander, I still remember his name was Jacques Gracia. He didn't say no to the president. He was trying to, lightly, because you can't play with the dictator, try to convince him. One pass, say, well, those guys are good people. Papa Doc insisted that he brought those people to him for whatever reason. No one knows. But instead of bringing those people to Papa Doc, Jacques Gracia decided to take all 3 ships, the largest ship in the country, okay, took them out to sea and started firing at the White House, the equivalent of the White House. They call it the palace, presidential palace, they call it in Haiti. Okay. Guys, let me tell you, that was the scariest thing I've ever experienced. You're used to, hearing regular machine guns or guns. After a while, you get used to it, depending on what's going on. Okay. But listening to those things being fired, flying overhead, and explode, it's a whole new experience. It is pretty scary. But the point I'm trying to make is I simply want you guys to understand what the experience that and I don't think Americans want this in this country. But what Trump is doing in Miller and company, we don't know what that can trigger and how much people in the military, because I don't know how many of you read about it, they are going to counseling. And when you stress people to that point, something is going to break. Jacques Gracia, the commander of that, I'm going to say, of Coast Guard in Haiti, he was under stress. Those are his people. Those are people he sees every day. He eats lunch with. He's the commander. Okay. And the same thing potentially that can happen here. And that's what kept playing on my mind this morning as I was thinking about what to basically talk about today. And the reason why I'm giving you that example, because the potential is here. They may not recognize it yet. I'm talking about Trump and people around him. Okay, but intuitively I feel. Remember, guys, I told you at some point my prediction was, given what he's doing, Trump and Miller and company, they can break up the military because those guys are human beings. There's a limit. Miller and Vought, they are full of hatred and they have other major problems, childhood, stress, whatever it is, they suffered. So it's coming out now. From what I understand, Vought went through a divorce recently. So this guy, remember I told you guys, he doesn't like himself. I've said it once or twice before. Okay. The thing is, it's not going to happen the same way. I explained the example I gave you of that commander basically took all his guys. He came here, by the way. He went out to sea, and I don't know who, if it was Nixon at the time. Not Nixon personally, but probably the ambassador or something, because in those days, when the American ambassador or some high official here step in and say something, those guys will listen because they come here to train. So they know people know them. Okay? So from what I understand, they asked them to leave. And I don't remember if they came here with the boats and then the boats were returned. I believe that's what happened. Because Haiti is not too far from here. I mean, well, yeah, Florida, because they came to Florida when they came. If I'm not mistaken, they did leave with the ships, or they probably all went on one ship and they came here, something like that, and then the ships were returned to Haiti. I am not saying the same thing. It's going to happen here the same way. But my prediction is those hearing about these conscientious objections, this is only the beginning. We're going to hear a lot more people doing that. Those are simply, the first, in the sense that they are brave, they are leading. And the same thing is going to happen in the military, and all hell is going to break loose. That's my prediction. I told you not too long ago, I saw people rappelling from helicopters into the White House. I don't know exactly what's going to trigger that or how this is going to evolve. Okay? I can't tell you the plan. I don't know. Okay? But all I know intuitively, and I can predict with certitude, the only thing that can change is time and other people stepping in and say, hey, we're heading in the wrong direction. Maybe, I don't see anybody in the Senate that would step up to Trump and says, we got to stop this. I don't know who's going to do it. That's the only thing intuitively I feel. I mean, besides us, the people. Okay? There are pressure points that the American people, our fellow Americans, can push to make things happen as well. But intuitively, it feels like to me it's going to be more like somebody besides protest that's going to tell Trump and the people around him they are courting disaster. That's what will prevent what I feel intuitively is coming. And another thing I feel with ICE, it's a very dangerous thing when you're leading an organization where people carry weapons and you're putting that much stress on them. You're not fighting a foreign force. You are telling them to turn your gun on your brothers and sisters. They may not follow your orders. And what can happen is, intuitively I feel, that can cause major disaster with an ICE. Wherever, I don't know exactly how it's going to happen. The pressure is too intense. Taking people's job away, doing all those things. You put people in desperate situations. Desperate people do desperate things. That's my prediction. It's, I'm not trying to, this is nothing to scare you guys, okay? I'm telling you what can happen within the ICE and security, and the same thing can apply to other security agencies as well, because the pressure is being applied everywhere. And there are a lot of unhappy people. That's what I'm picking up. I have no way of knowing because I don't have anybody who works for the FBI or ICE or any of those organizations. But I know when you're dealing with people with weapons, there are certain things you don't do. But Miller and company, they don't know that. They've never been in the military. They've never been anywhere, well, I'm not going to get into all those things, but it's a very dangerous situation they are creating, atmosphere they are creating, that can cause a lot of problems. But my prediction is, if cooler head don't prevail and time, they continue to do what they are doing over time, this is a disaster waiting to happen. And I don't see Trump and Stephen Miller. In fact, if you watch Stephen Miller on TV, the way he makes his declarations, he wants to arrest governors and mayors and elected officials who disobey their orders or get on their way. They have no idea. From what I remember, that whole situation ended in disaster from Haiti, and it's not going to unfold the same way in this country. Okay, but the results are going to be the same. Disaster. I hope somebody who knows better can hear at least, I'm a crazy psychic, but let's see what happens. I hope I'm wrong. And I don't know if you guys saw, I'm switching to Trump's health this morning. I saw a video clip of him and a couple of other video clips you guys have shared with me. And according to a physician this morning, I told you guys there is something. It felt like to me the MRI was to his heart. And of course, once you have circulation issues, it affects, the brain and all that kind of stuff. I'm not a physician, so I don't know exactly. I feel the MRI was, his doctors wanted to know exactly, because his mini strokes have been more frequent, okay? And they are worried, and also he's having certain symptoms, his speech, his walk. And if you look at when he was in Japan with the prime minister, the way he walked down the stairs, it's like, when you relax, you're walking. Yes, you can pay attention when you're going down a set of stairs. I think he has a vision problem as well. You guys who are in the healthcare industry, you can tell me. I feel he has a vision problem. He has a balance issue. I feel his feet and legs hurt, okay? And the MRI was for his heart, okay? I'm not quite sure. I don't know. It's not my forte. I can't explain it. But intuitively, that's what I feel that was done. And if you are watching him this morning, okay, and also the other thing is confusion. That's the last of this. I believe I mentioned 3 things, okay. The last one, well, I'll say last one because I don't remember exactly how many things I said. Symptoms. I saw him display and I was picking up intuitively, okay. While he was walking with the prime minister, he got in front of the band. He intuitively, I feel, he has poor peripheral vision. That's another thing, and it feels like to me he has trouble concentrating. So he was so focused on walking in a certain way, he did not realize. I'm sure you guys know better than I do. He did not realize he didn't have to stop in front of the band. He simply had to, walk along with her. So I'm seeing some cognitive issues. And the reason why I'm explaining that, you guys, those of you who saw the clip, okay, he got in front of the band with the Japanese prime minister. I don't know her name. She's new. He stopped. She basically touched him a bit, nudged him, and signaled to him they have to keep on walking. And as he was appearing by the flag, there was a flag and he was to turn and face the camera, I guess. Okay. And you could see the face, the grimace he made. Something is very wrong with him, health-wise, I feel. Okay. And I'm going to say one more thing intuitively as I'm saying this. I feel, those of you who are familiar with this, please let me know. The heart disease and circulation issue that he's having is affecting his ability to logically think things through, evaluate, pros and cons of anything. He can make very bad decisions. In a sense, I'm not, who am I? I can say it, but it's not going to have any effect. It's danger. It's a danger for this country. But intuitively, I feel he's getting worse. That's why I thought I would put that there. Besides, you can see that video. It's all over the internet. Okay, and two other videos that was sent to me, I was looking at his face. Somebody pointed out to me his face to me. Okay, it's getting worse, and it's going to become more obvious. And this morning I was thinking about this, and I was reminded that I said something like around the end of the year, by Christmas or so, he may have another, or between now and Christmas or so, okay, another major health scare. Okay, so that's my prediction. Let's see what happens. But this is getting worse, and that's why the doctors were worried. They sent him in to be evaluated. That's what I'm getting. Let me see. And then I'll go back. That thing took me down, so I'll read the first one. Swarat 1962 says, Milu, he said that he's not going to heaven. That is the man that already gave himself to evil, and his son said they're showing good, or they're showing God how it is done. God don't make sheep. Exactly, I agree with you. Yeah, he's been hinting at things that are happening in his life. If anyone who's as astute as you are, okay, will pick up what he's trying to say. Just like yesterday, he blurted out he had an MRI or something like that. Running conditioner said, yes, Milu, I agree. I feel the same way about F45. Thank you. I'm glad you feel the same way. Sometimes I wonder if I'm nuts like yesterday. Sassy Fraz says, he's 79. He's not going to get better. You're right. Unfortunately for him, it's not going to get better. But, it's the thing is, we are suffering. And you don't expect anyone to step up. That's the other thing I feel. That's dangerous. No one is going to step up because they're all afraid. I may lose my position. I may not get reelected. What am I going to do? It's not the country. It's about themselves. Let's see what happens. But this is dangerous, my friends. Swear at 1962 says they don't want us to know. They are picking him. They are keeping him going because if he fails, their plan fails. Exactly. But but yes, you're right. If and you know what, that he's not going to give. This is not going to be successful. It may take a little time. This is a huge endeavor, and they don't know how to do it. Carmen Donati says MRI gold angiogram to see where the blockages are. Well, you know better than I do, so I agree. Okay. Guy Mac 8940 said the MRI was just perfect. Ha! Yeah, that's what I said when I heard that too. Okay. Yeah, it's getting really bad. And the other thing is, as I was talking about the last topic I have in the title, the situation intuitively I feel is worse in the military. And we're not hearing about it because they are somewhat insulated. We will hear about what's going on with ICE. And those two organizations, it feels like to me, are going through similar upheaval because the same man, the military, they have actually doing the same thing that Stephen Miller is doing to DHS and ICE and all these people. And I believe it's Democrats that did that this morning, among one or two more people who are reminding DOJ and others that there are going to be consequences for their actions after this. And believe it or not, regardless of what their behavior towards us, the people, okay, lately it feels like to me it's been on the back of their minds. They are beginning to, they're beginning to realize that there are going to be consequences at some point. And that's what makes it more dangerous with ICE, okay? They are hiring people who are not qualified because they lessen their requirements for people who join ICE. And the caliber of people they are getting is going to cause a lot of problems for them. But intuitively, I feel, and it's very dangerous as well, okay, the same way you see the ICE as an organization is breaking down, intuitively, I feel. The military is not going to break down until Trump give them the order to, come and fight the public, put order, back into society, whether it's true or not. But, until he unleashes the military, that's when we're going to see the breakdown, it feels like to me. But right now, it feels like to me, ICE is an organization that's breaking down, and the type of people they are hiring is going to cause a whole slew of problems for them. And as I'm saying this, I don't know if I've said this before. I don't know how long Norm is going to be able to withstand what's going on. I read something yesterday about how she got the position and the internal criticism that followed after she was chosen for that position. But if you hear of the battles that are taking place behind the scenes, we don't have enough time now. I don't remember everything I read about them yesterday because I just skimmed through it. Okay? I wasn't surprised. But intuitively, I feel I wouldn't be surprised as I'm talking to you if Norm is not considering her next career or what she wants to do next. And Bundy is taking the same way too, but Bundy is going to last longer, it feels like to me, than Norm. But now she's beginning to reach a point she's feeling that this may not be worth it. And they know at the right time, Trump won't stand up with them. He will just let them dangle there because it's all about him. And we all know it. He's not gonna save them. And besides, he may not be able to. But my friends, Trump is about, like I said, if everything is not done in time, Trump is going to put this country, Vought and Miller are the presidents, okay? But since Trump is the one officially who is on the spot, they're going to cause great damage to this country if they don't stop what they are doing. That's my prediction. Okay. Some of you are asking me how to hype my videos. From what I understand, you can't hype the live videos. I am going to start, I've started already, and repost if I feel I did a stream that was good. I'm going to edit it afterward, okay, and repost it. I'm going to call it, for example, if I was to do one after, I'll see how I feel about this one after we're done. I'm going to call it October 28th, 2025 show, okay? So when you see something like that, I'm not trying to trick anybody or clickbait. I am simply posting the video without the chat of what I spoke about today, to put my predictions and everything. I'm reposting it so people can hype it for me. Because when you hype a video, okay, I don't know. I'm just trying anything and everything, okay, for to get more views and hopefully get more subscribers. So if you see a video with a date and it says show, it's an old stream. So I don't want anybody to think I'm trying to clickbait, okay? All right, let me see if there are more questions. I think somebody asked me a question yesterday. I'm trying to make sure. Oh, this is sick, you guys. I'm sure you guys know him. I believe it's Ehud Barak. He's a former Israeli prime minister. And I heard a report this morning. It seemed like he was involved in the Epstein fiasco, scandal. And he's one of the people who abused the young lady or the lady who committed suicide. I'm sure you guys, I don't want to get too involved with that stuff because I don't want to start seeing pictures of how she was abused. Please, okay? But according to her co-writer, Ehud Barak was one of the people. I was shocked this morning when I heard that. This is so sick. I thought I would mention it. I wrote it down. That's why I wrote it down, so I wouldn't forget. Anyway, I don't want to dwell on this. All right, let me see if there are more questions. With the hype, they allow you only so many in a week. Oh, okay, I read about the hype. I knew about it for months. I've had it, but I don't remember them, yes, you're right. I remember reading something like that, but I didn't get, in fact, I should reread it so I can find out. Okay. Oh, no, I think it's a number of videos that you can hype, the number of videos, because I probably misunderstood what you said. It's not the number of time people can hype a video. So, yeah, I'm trying to see, maybe it's not even worth me, because it takes me about an hour and a half or 2 hours, if not more, to edit a video. What takes time is every time you edit it, you have to play it. Oh my God, that's why I prefer to do stream, because you are never satisfied when you create a video and you're editing, and then you reach a point, you say, I don't like it, and you re-record it, you edit again, still not happy. It's crazy. So that's why I don't mind doing the live. Different people can hype in the same week. Thank you, Adi. I don't know much about. I mean, all I know, I read about it a while back. But I don't. Somebody told me they hyped one of my videos, but I did not know how she was able to do it because all my videos are live, stream live, and from what I understand, you can't do it with videos that are streamed. And a couple of you are asking me, how come I don't have the hype button? It's because you can't hype the live streams. So maybe I'll release one. Now you guys giving me second thought. But you're right. Thank you for that. I thought about it before. I edited a couple of videos and I gave it up. But, I'm going to look into it again. Okay. Joyce Matthews, 505 says, Don Lemon was asking, where are all the books written about Trump's health? Exactly like they did with Biden. Oh, no. When you said that, it reminded me of somebody from CNN. Is it Yodo who wrote a book about Biden? Well, but the other day, I don't know if it was Trump who called the president of CNN. And when he went back, he told his, journalists or the people who report to him not to show the demolition of the White House, to ease off. And also, I think CBS is going to turn into Fox News because of that lady Weiss, I don't know how to pronounce her name. Okay. And there's an anchor they're losing. I mean, not that they care. One of their anchors, major anchors, from what I understand, I've seen him on TV for a long time. He's leaving. He resigned. So it's going to be interesting. Maybe they would have the pillow guy people. That's what we're doing to the Pentagon. They have a whole bunch of influencers as journalists, and they're now reporting. And we see what type of questions those people ask. I mean, I'm not a journalist, so I'm not trying to say I know better than they do, but God, if you hear the questions those people ask, it's unbelievable. All right. I think this is it for an anxiety and fear. Raymond Di Pasquale says, anxiety and fear are cousins, but not twins. Fear sees a threat. Anxiety imagine one. Aurora Night. That sounds right. I never thought of that. That's pretty good. Okay, friends, thank you very much for joining me. Thank you, chat managers, for your help. I appreciate it. If anyone would like a reading from me, donate to my website. It's below the video, psychicmiro.com, or please feel free to call me or text me on my YouTube number. If you would like to support the channel, I would appreciate it. And please don't forget to subscribe if you are not a subscriber, and also don't forget to tap on the notification bell. Please give me a thumbs up. That would help me a lot. I will see you all tomorrow. Today is Tuesday. I did my Monday evening session last night, so I'll see you all tomorrow. Till then, bye.